Hi guys, it's Christina with another guest designer post for SpiegelMom Scraps. And I am working with a cut file today, so before we start anything else, I just wanted to show you how I set up my mat for my silhouette to cut this out. So I'm going to be showing you how to make some really easy shaker pockets. So the top half is just cardstock, and that I'm going to cut an outline of my letters. And then the bottom half I put some sticker paper, but it's upside down. So the sticky side actually cut facing up. So I have an outline of the letters as well as the center part of the letters. And the beauty with doing this is it's quick and easy, and it's a really powerful way to make a title that shows in a lot of impact. And what it does is when I peel off that yellow layer of the sticker paper, I can then just press all of my sequins onto it and they're going to stay there. I really like this as an alternative to a shaker pocket because, one, the sequins actually stay in place. So they don't all pool in the bottom of the letter and leave it looking like you somehow forgot to embellish the rest of the letter. And the other thing it does is it makes sure that you get that impact throughout the entire letter, and it's much quicker and easier than trying to do this on your own as a traditional shaker pocket. So then I take those outlines and I just have an old transparency, cut it to fit on the outline side, put a little fun foam, and there you have it, done. Really quick, really simple, and you are actually going to get this cut file if you go to the blog so that if you want to play with it and create this title as well, it is a super quick and easy way to make that high impact title. Alright, so what you see here is me working on the rest of my layout. So I'm going to use products from a few different companies, but the majority of this is going to be with the Fancy Free collection by Paige Evans for Pink Paisley. And there you see I'm using up a bunch of my old scraps on this layout. And the same thing is going to be true with this background paper. So I want this polka dot paper to be my background, but I am trying so hard to conserve this Fancy Free collection. So I'm actually going to cut strips so that I can save part of it because I also want to use that gray that's on the back for a different project. So there you see I've put my layers of paper together and I'm creating this vertical focus down the middle of my page. And this is a design that I like to use often. And I'm using really bright colors because we're going to be working on some beach photos today. And this is a really great design if you have a few different photos. So I am just going to cluster those photos up at the top of that middle section. And then I'm going to take the Normandy white doilies, these are the 4-inch ones from the SpiegelMom Scrap Store, and I am coloring the edges with some distressed ink in Mermaid Lagoon, and I'm going to have 3 different places where I place those on the layout, and those are going to become my 3 embellishment clusters. So I'm just kind of staggering everything throughout the layout. And these photos are perfect for a fun beach play layout like this because this is just my daughter on the beach in California playing and doing tricks and being a kid. And then you'll see I added my title there along the bottom of my photos, and that's where the majority of the impact on this layout is going to come from. So adding those sequins and that bright sparkly detail underneath those letters really makes that kind of the focal point. Layering it over the bottom edge of my photos means that I get you to pay attention to my photos because you're immediately drawn to that title. So it works out both ways. Alright, so what you see me doing now is just going through all of my different ephemera and pieces I have from that Fancy Free collection, trying to decide what I want those 3 embellishment clusters to look like. So I'm going to play for quite a while with the different embellishments that I have, trying to decide what I want placed where. I think a lot of times people who create YouTube videos and process videos, it looks like they just immediately went to the 3 things they wanted on the layout, picked them up, put them on the page, and they looked perfect. I am definitely not one of those people. So I do spend a good deal of time going through the embellishments I have, laying them out on the page, trying to decide if I like that look, if I want something to change. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I hope there's a lot of people out there like that, where you just kind of have to see it to decide if it's what you're looking for or not. And so I do spend a lot of time playing with all these little embellishments, and I do end up going in a completely different direction, which you will see here in a second. So there you can see I went ahead and went back and pulled out 3 buttons that I just put some crochet thread through. And there's one of those buttons in each of the clusters. And then I also layered them with the felt Fetty hearts from the SpiegelMom scrap store. And they're in 3 different sizes, one in each cluster. And then I used the puffy stickers from Paige Evan to add that little X detail to make it look like they were strategically stitched in each one of those clusters. And I really like the look that that gives. So now I'm just going through the little phrases, trying to see if there was any of those I wanted. And I did go ahead and add one next to the word play. And then I'm working on my journaling at the bottom. So I've just printed it out on my computer on white cardstock and then backed it with some black cardstock. And the journaling just says, the minute you hit the sand, you are all about doing tricks, playing in the sand, and running in the waves. You are without a doubt a complete beach girl. And then the last kind of detail I'm going to add to this layout is a couple of clusters of those same sequins. And these come from the Amy Sprinkles and Hot Right Now sets in SpiegelMom Scrap Store. And I'm going to add one big cluster down there at the bottom right next to my journaling. And then I'm going to add a smaller cluster up there in the top. And then also a little tiny cluster over there by the word adventure. And this just kind of ties everything together with that title. So it's very easy for the eye to move throughout the layout because those sequins repeat throughout the entire layout. And that's basically going to do it. You're going to see some close-ups here. Make sure you also visit the blog post and check out that cut file for how I created the word play as my title. I would love to see what you create if you decide to play with it as well. And I will see you back here again next week for my next project for SpiegelMom Scraps for the month of July. Bye!